but you knew it all.
I've been asked to talk about what it is about goth that I like, and what it is that makes me a goth, where I go, what I do. And it's kind of difficult because depending on my mood, depending on the time of day even, it can be totally different. I do go to Mother, I go to Click and Drag sometimes. I haven't been to the bank so often, but when Batcave was good, I used to go there, but that got sour pretty quick. Nowadays, mainly I go to Exeter. When Wasteland was around, I used to go to that, and there's this great night in Brooklyn called Sanctuary, which is on Thursday nights, and that's been amazing. That's such a nice night. But that's not what makes me a goth, and to me, the club is not what goth is about. There's a certain aesthetic about goth that I really, really love. The ability to find beauty in the pain that people go through. I mean, not to enjoy the fact that people go through pain, but just to think that it's beautiful, that people endure, that people keep going, is just amazing to me. And I did not realize that I was goth until I hit 24, which is kind of late for anybody to get into something. It was after a whole lot of people saying, you know, oh great, you know, whose funeral is it? And I had gotten to the point where somebody said, oh, where's the funeral? I said, my house. And they said, who's died? I said, me. You just get like that when you get enough comments, and it's not like I dress like this to attract attention, even though people say, yeah, that's what it's all about. It's not like that. It just reflects something, and it feels better to me than wearing pastel pink and painting my nails some strange shade of eggshell. And I've also been asked to talk about the difference between goths and vampires, or the similarity between the two. It is true that a lot of people will find an aesthetic pleasure in vampires, and a lot of people will describe themselves as vampires. I see a great big difference between the two. The people who think themselves vampires, so long as they don't pretend themselves immortal, I'm fine. I think that it makes perfect sense, because vampires do have a lot of characteristics that goths do, as far as, I mean, vampires are gothic literature, that's just part of it. It's the idea that immortality is something to be desired that I don't like, and that many goths I know don't like, because we are in love with the idea that death is a process. Death is something real. I don't want to avoid it. I don't want to dive into it, but I don't want to avoid it either. It's just there. It's part of life. And that's not what makes me a goth, though. I don't know what makes me a goth. I don't know what makes anyone a goth. People love what they love. People have the passions that they have. Most of the goths that I know that I appreciate their aesthetic views are the most passionate people I know. And that's the thing I value most in people.